What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to FBA Capital. And today I'm bringing you guys another another daily range case study and weekly review on US 30. So without further ado, let's get right on into the video. So first things first, we're going to be starting off on NAS100, not even US 30. My apologies. Hold on, let me mute all these things, just so we don't get distracted in this video. All right. Now that we're in here, first thing we're going to do is mark up the previous day's highs and the previous day's lows. We got the previous day's high right here. Then all the way down here, we have the previous day's low, which got nowhere near being ran through. So we're going to be paying it. Not sure what that noise was, but we're going to be paying attention to majority of everything that's happening up here in price. Next thing, I'm going to get the previous day's Asian session range. So from 18 o'clock all the way to midnight, that's the Asian session range we're going to be using. And now next, I'm going to be getting the 12 a.m. open, which is going to be right here. Now, first thing I want you guys to pay attention to, I want you to pay attention to this area down here. And I want you to pay attention to this area in here, because these are going to be the main significant areas that price, and also right here. These are the three significant areas that I need you to pay attention to, because these three swing, this swing low, this swing high, and this swing low also, these are going to be the major points in which where you could have overall caught this major trade and why you could have expected it. So first things first, let me check. So if I put my fib from the previous day's low to this high right up here, let's see if we had a potential continuation move, which we didn't. So overall, that didn't happen. But now let's just pay attention to what's happening right here. First thing I want you guys to realize is where we are in price. We're at 13,800, which is a big figure number. That is first things first. The next thing is, look where price came down to. It came down and did what? Cleared the lows of the Asian session. So okay, we cleared these lows. After we cleared the sell side liquidity, what is price more than likely going to reach for? Buy side liquidity, which is where the Asian session high and this high up here, which is the previous day's high. So once we got this low down here, at what time was this created? 3:15. So now let's start annotating. Let's wipe a little bit. At 3:15 a.m., we got the low of the day. Plus we have the reaction from 13,800, which price traded into. Plus we have, what else do we have? We had the lows cleared from the Asian session. So Asian range, lows cleared / false break. So we had a false break after we cleared the Asian session low, making the low of the day. Now this is going to be in a significant area, because this low here is what we're going to be using to overall calculate where we're going to look for overall retracement to. So now that we had this low created, what happened after this? Price ran up and created this high at what? 8:45 in the morning. So at 8:45, we had a New York high created. Now, what do we know about the New York high being created? Since we had this low being made during London session, once this high was created during the New York session, we could have been anticipating a potential retracement now for London continuation move. Now, once this happened, simply pull my fib from this low now to this high. And what do we get? We get this reaction in price that you see right here. Take away this level. Look at how price came right into this 62 to 79% retracement. Now, also pay attention to where we are price-wise again. This is at 13,900, which is another big figure level. Gonna make this one black. So right there. And then we're gonna also look to the left, and we're gonna get the 50% of the Asian range, just like this. And look at that. Now say I pulled this all the way over. Look at where it came right on into the 50% of the Asian range, along with this fib long. Now let's go to the hour time frame. What else do we have? If I take all this off, we have this last down candle before this up move that cleared these highs right here. This high and this high. So this is now considered a bullish order block. So now we have this bullish order block that was created during the London session. Now we also have that also in confluence with all these other areas. So now we have, let's annotate it now. So at what time did this happen? At 10 a.m. So at 10 a.m., we had the 1 hour order block rejection, along with the fib long, along with the 13,900 big figure rejection, along with the 50% of the Asian range rejection, along with what? We came right below what? The 12 a.m. open. Came right below the 12 a.m. open, plus below the 12 a.m. open. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 confirmations, and 6 if you include time of day. So we had 6 confirmations right here for why I was expecting price to overall go bullish. We had the London created the low of the day, cleared the Asian session low. We came up, cleared the high of the previous day's high. So we showed that there was a willingness for price to potentially want to go higher. Yesterday was also bullish. So if we stick with the previous day's trend, we're overall bullish. So even though we didn't have a 38.20% rejection, we did have this overall setup where price came, cleared his low, and that's why I anticipated price to keep on going higher. It just as likely could have kept going lower, but I took my chance on this trade, and this is where I was able to catch the expansion. Now, where did price overall close at? It closed right up here, and this is the high of the day. Now, where did this close? Look in price, 14,200, which is what? Another big figure level. And this is the overall target I was looking to have on this price. I personally didn't get out at 14,200 because it did consolidate a lot. So I got out somewhere around this high over here, and I left my runner, got out somewhere over here. But I didn't hold to the full target just because it started to consolidate, and I personally didn't want to risk the chance of price retracing back into the range, especially since it's a Friday. So as you can see, this was a clean bullish London continuation move, and this is something that you can look for on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. London session came down, cleared sell side liquidity, traded into a big figure level, went higher, created an order block on the 1 hour, price came up, created a high during New York session, then what? Retraced into it, retraced into that order block, retraced to the 50% of the Asian range, retraced below the 12 AM open, retraced into a big figure level, and retraced into that FEB long. Then from here, we had the expansion, and then what happened? We cleared the highs, the New York session high, the New York session's high, which is an ideal target, which you could have ideally got out at. But if you didn't, you could have held to this big figure level like this, or you could have just held to 14,100, which is where this high is also. But nonetheless, now let's get the overall schematic of what happened. So this is what happened. We had the Asian session, we ranged. London session came, created the low of the day after clearing the lows. We pushed higher, cleared the Asian session high, came down, retraced, and then kept on going higher. So this is a very clean example of a bullish London continuation move. And this is something that you could look for on a daily, weekly basis. This is my prime setup. So this is why I risked a little bit more on this setup. I risked about maybe 1.3%. I usually risk about 0.5 to 1%. But on these London continuation moves, these are moves that are very profitable. And when you have these lows that are being created with this, it's very clean. With this low being created after clearing this low and then creating that order block as soon as price went higher, it was very clean, and that's why I was overall expecting the price to go higher. Because if you look at it on the hour time frame, look, retraced right into it, thing just bullish, bullish, bullish. And then we did what? Came and cleared this Monday's high, which is overall what I was targeting. So now that we have this overall idea of what happened today, this daily range case study, I'm going to take a screenshot of this, just like this. I'm going to send it in the Telegram chat. And now we're going to move on to what happened throughout the week. So now we're going to go to the hour time frame. And I want you guys to look left. So right over here, this is where the market opened. So we're going to mark this up. This is where the market opened. This is the market open price during the week. Now let's pay attention to how price reacted to specific areas and where we had highs and lows. So let's look last week. Last week we had the weekly high right here. And now we're going to use that high with this low down here that was created during Thursday. And we're going to pull a FIB from that high and low and see how price reacted to it. Let's get the normal FIB. Pull it over. In this case, nothing very clean happened, so we're going to take that off. This is the first time I'm looking at the weekly, but as you can see, this week it's kind of hard to really see anything that very clean happened because there was a lot of fundamental news going on. See this big drop. This is when we got the news of Ukraine and all the war going on, and then as you can see, price started to retrace and everything. So in this case scenario, this isn't something ideally that's going to happen, but if you go to the daily time frame, it makes sense on why we did a lot of things. We came down, tapped into this order block. Here, let me go over here. Came down, tapped into his order block, and we tapped into this FIB that I have on the higher time frame. And look at the reaction we had to it. Came right to it, and then from here, price had the willingness to keep going higher and stood above 13,500. So nonetheless, we're going to go back to the hour time frame. There's not really much I have to show you guys on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just show you overall what happened. So we had the market open price right here. I'm going to make this, let's say, I'll make it yellow. Market opened here. We came all the way down to this point, just like this. From here, price retraced all the way up to here, and this is where it overall closed at. So you're going to do it just like this. So the market came all the way up, closed right up here. So this is what it would look like if you went to the daily chart and looked at it as a, what you call it, I forget what this is called. It's the bar. So if you go like this and then go to the daily chart, zoom on in, that's exactly what we have. Opened, went up, and closed where it opened, and we had this down wick here. So that's overall what happened. And that's why I like to do this, because this gives you a good idea on what you could potentially be anticipating for stuff in the future. So without further ado, I'm going to take a screenshot of this. Even though it's not very clean, this is an overall rejection on the daily candle. This is a daily candle rejection. If you look at it, just like this, we had a very bullish candle, which is a little bit different. It looks a little weird here, but nonetheless, it's just a bullish candle. So back to the hour. Take the screenshot. I'm going to send this in Telegram also. So if you're not in Telegram, make sure you join that. I send all of the daily ranges and all the screenshots that you can learn, study from, and just take as screenshots. And you don't even have to do the daily ranges. You could just take the screenshots and just put them in your own journal if you're lazy, but I recommend doing it yourself. But without further ado, I'm in this video off here. So if you found this informative, if you found it helpful in any way, shape, or form, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you stay motivated by the freebie average. And make sure you also stay tuned, because I think I'm going to be doing a live backtest session this Sunday. So stay tuned for that. I will have everyone in there. So if you're not in Telegram, join it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all Sunday.